Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name's Mark Fernandez. I'm an old student of Tara Institute. So I've been coming here for over 35 years. In fact, it'll be almost 40 years next year. So too long, but good for me. And so I've been a student of this tradition of Buddhism, which is Tibetan Buddhism, and my main teachers are His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You can see a big, large image there behind you. So he celebrated his 90th birthday very recently, and there was a lot of press and warm wishes from world leaders and also the community at large, because he has been an advocate for world peace and solving problems through dialogue and harmony, cultivating harmony, love and compassion. So that's really good. By not coincidence, Geshe Doga's birthday celebration, and Geshe Doga's the resident teacher here at Tara Institute. He's celebrating his 90th birthday as well this Sunday at Tara Institute. So if you want to come along, register. Look on the website and register. So it's free, but it'll be a good celebration. And I think with Geshe Doga, because they don't have in Tibet, in old Tibet, they didn't have very good records, birth, deaths and marriages like we have, where they can record, Mark was born at this time on this date at this place. It was done pretty much by year, if you were lucky. So they managed to pin that, Geshe, you're about 90, and so you can have the same celebration date as the Dalai Lama, pretty much. So, which is very good. And so I think that's really good. He's actually, I don't know what a birthday means to him other than a point in time, but he's happy to celebrate it with us. So it would be good if, if you're keen, if you'd like to do it, you're most welcome. They're two of my teachers, the Dalai Lama and Geshe Doga, and my third teacher is Kabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche, who passed away several years ago, but he was the founder of the Tara Institute, this umbrella of centres that have come into being through his efforts. Those are my main three teachers. So they're all very good, excellent teachers. So hopefully some of that can be rubs off on me and then rubs off onto you tonight. So that's one announcement, Geshe Doga's birthday. The other announcement is this book has been published. So this is the volume 4 of Meditation for Modern Minds. So it's a compilation of the Monday night teachings from 2 years ago. So each teacher teaches for about a 4-week block and covers different Buddhist topics in some detail. And it's been edited, thoroughly vetted, checked, etc., and then published. So it's available in the bookshop. So if anyone is interested. So tonight I'm going to cover a number of different topics, but firstly, who is new? Who's never been to Monday nights? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, welcome. And to those of you who have 4, okay, 5, 6, oh, there's a few. Okay, well, welcome to all of you. So I'll cover a few sort of Buddhist concepts, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail on some. Then we'll do some meditation, and obviously at any time we can do question and answer. In fact, I like asking the audience questions just to see what people think. So let's see how we go. So in Buddhism, the motivation is very important. So for the period of this teaching, this talk, we should think that you're strongly going to develop, do your best to develop good qualities through listening, thinking about and meditating. So those three, listening, thinking about and meditating, we call those wisdom tools in Buddhism, because they're making use of our own mind to listen, think about and meditate on whatever we've heard and whatever we can glean. So that's very important, because Buddhism, of the major religions, it's one of the few that's atheistic, if you like. It's doesn't have a creator who's dictating you can be born here, you're going to live this type of life, you can die. It's sort of, essentially in Buddhism it says there's no actual creator, we're in fact the creator and the being that lives through that existence. So we create, in one way or another, we create our own experience, whether it's happiness or unhappiness, suffering or bliss. So that's a Buddhist concept. I think the Jains also have that. They don't believe in a creator. I mean, they believe in they're sort of essentially being the creator of your own happiness. But they diverge quite a bit as well. So, but I won't go into too much into Jainism, but more on Buddhism. So that's what. So with motivation, the idea is that a positive outlook will enable you to deal with whatever challenges come to you in life. And in turn, that positive outlook is there as the basis for generating happiness. So if our experience was totally like flow with the wind, or flow with the water, like whatever came, we experienced it. Like, okay, if someone it becomes angry at us, we become angry or get agitated. That could be the natural course of events, isn't it? That's the flow, because someone's becoming angry and agitated at us. So we out of necessity or experience, we become angry at them or become agitated and unhappy. So we suffer quite a lot. So in Buddhism, there's the idea, well, if we have a positive motivation to start with, whatever experience comes our way, it tempers a little bit, say, an unpleasant experience, like a person sort of getting angry at us. And then the converse, or the vice versa of that, is if we start with a negative attitude, then that may make whatever comes our way more challenging or more difficult to deal with. So have you ever heard of the defeatist attitude? A defeatist attitude, yeah. So before you've even started the contest, like gone into the ring or whatever it is, you think, oh, there's no way I'm going to win, or I can't do it, I can't succeed. So what generally happens in that circumstance? Do we generally succeed? No, we've sort of outthought ourselves and we're defeated from the beginning, and we generally get the outcome that, oh well, it was an unpleasant experience and I failed at what I wanted to do. Anyway, it's good to examine whether that Buddhist approach is an effective approach to life or not. Because could we be fooling ourselves by being 100% positive all the time? Yes? No? Yes, we could, couldn't we? We could delude ourselves into thinking, oh well, it's all going swimmingly, everything's fantastic. Whereas in reality, it's not quite like that. So we have to have that positive attitude, but we still have to have a dose of realism as to what is actually occurring. So now, at the cornerstone of that idea of motivation and a positive approach versus a more negative approach is the idea that the person or the mind can be separated from problematic states. So, could someone give me an example of a problematic state that the Buddhists like to talk about? Self-cherishing, yes, yeah. So, sorry? What? Anger, yeah. Okay. Well, anger's a good one because I think everyone would relate to that, understand what that anger is. So anger's that sort of very quick mind, that mind of hatred that springs up very quickly has a sort of very strong, violent hatred towards the object and can cause a lot of damage and then dissipate just as quickly. So the Buddhist concept is that the person or the mind can be separated from that anger. So that's an interesting concept, because that indicates that, well, we're not captive to our own experiences or emotions or emotional states, that we can find some peace and happiness. So they use an analogy, the sky being the pure, clean nature of the mind, and the clouds that obscure it from time to time being like the afflicted states, like Lucy's mentioned, like anger and self-cherishing. So that's a Buddhist concept as well, that you can separate from those afflicted emotional states. In fact, in some Buddhist schools, that pure and clear mind is the definition of the person. So it's saying, the person is that clear state of mind. And what sort of goes along with it, all the afflicted states, they can be moved away, separated from the person. So that's quite inspiring, because it means we're not necessarily 100% captive to the emotional afflicted states that we have, that there's a way we can separate from them. So in Buddhism there are a number of different ways that we can access this pure and clear mind. So here's a few instances. So when we're deeply relaxed, so we can see a few nods there, yeah. So your mind can be a little bit more, have more clarity, more happiness, and then falling asleep. So it's not necessarily the sleep part of it where we've gone completely unconscious, but it's that falling asleep where the mind's gone from a conscious state with lots of thoughts to just being more relaxed, and we're just about to fall asleep. So there's like a twilight zone almost, where we're not quite asleep, but we're getting there, so the mind's more subtle there. Waking, so that's the converse. So we've been asleep, we're slowly waking, so the mind sort of is pretty subtle at that point. Dreaming is another one. So in dreaming, not all dreams are, if you like, clairvoyant or foretelling the future or whatever. That some of them are just the mind trying to sort through what we've gone through on the day or previously, but they can give us an insight, because what happens is the more conscious mind has subsided when we're dreaming. When we're asleep and dreaming, it's not there anymore, because we're not awake and we're not looking at things. It's completely a mental process as we're going through the sleep cycles. And then the dream is like, well, it's that the more subtle states of mind are bringing up something, and it might have been something consciously we were thinking about, and in the dream it comes out completely opaque, hidden almost, but it can give us some insight into what we should do. So that's another, if you like, a more subtle state. So I had an example, and I'm not saying it's the clear mind, but I had an example of this the other day. I fell asleep, and I'm a typical male, so as soon as I hit the pillow, it's lights out, sleep, so it's gone. But I had a dream, and it was a dream about my brother. So, but it was when he was a child. So because now he's he's a grown man. He's only a few years younger than me, but but it was a dream about him, and I thought, oh, okay. And I dreamt about him, and we were interacting, talking away. Anyway, when I woke up, I thought, oh, what was that dream telling me? And sure enough, What Gen, was it Baby Boomer? What's the latest generation? Is it Gen Z or Gen? Yeah, so, anyway, there's different ways of doing it. So, but that was my first thought, was to, just ring him. And sure enough, we had a very good conversation, and he had been going through a few health issues. He'd just retired. So there's a few... Anyway, he was happy to talk. And I thought, well, I wouldn't have really thought to ring him, because nothing's wrong, everything's going well. But it was good that I did. So I thought, anyway, there's if you like, I'm not saying I have a totally clear mind, but that was an example of the dream state giving a more subtle indication of what to do, and it led to a good outcome. So I thought, that was good. So what about when we're awake? How can we get to that deeply relaxed state when we're awake? Meditation, yes, and that's an excellent response because we'll cover that. But there's another one I've heard of too. What's that? In nature, yes, walking. So I've heard that people go, if I walk, once I hit the 30 minute mark or something, that's when the magic begins. So they don't have to be sprinting or checking their watch or whatever, but it's just that motion, and the body becomes relaxed, the mind becomes relaxed, and particularly if you're not in an industrial park, you're in amongst trees and the beach or flowers. Nature has a way of relaxing us too. So there's another deeply relaxed state we can reach. We don't have to be meditating, but we can get there with that. Through walking. So, and I think that's the experience. The magic they're talking about is that their minds, their body feels better, not as sore and a bit more lubricated, and but their mind is more relaxed and clear. So, if you've ever looked at the ocean from a cliff top or something, for me, it can bring on the same feeling after a while. If you're just looking at it, they're just the waves coming in over and over again. It can be very relaxing, so which is good. So they're all external to the person, but they can bring on that state for us, so which is good. Meditation is the other method, if you like, that we can get that access to that pure and clear or deeply relaxed, peaceful mind. So I'm going to show you a very easy meditation to hopefully give you some experience of the mind being at peace. So it's called breathing meditation. So this meditation is used to develop like a relaxed state, deep, relaxed, peaceful, but it develops concentration if you can focus on the breathing, on the breath going in and out. So let's try it, and then we'll just see, and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards. So make yourself comfortable. So this is the main thing with meditation, is to try and keep your back straight, and you can be sitting or on a cushion. So keep your mouth closed, so you're breathing through your nose, and the focus of the meditation is going to be on the breath. So keep your hands gently on your lap, and your thumbs pointing back towards your navel, and in our tradition we put the left hand on the bottom and the right hand on top, and then we join the two thumbs and point the thumbs back towards the navel, and then put it on our lap. And then our eyes are not completely closed, not completely open, so you just want to let an impression of light in. So if you close your eyes, the natural inclination is to relax too much and fall asleep, and if they're too wide, the eyes, then it's easy to get distracted. So begin by breathing gently through the nostrils, and then imagine or visualise that as you're breathing out, that all your anxieties, worries, concerns of the day are being removed. And as you're breathing in, you can let beautiful enlightened energy come into you. And you can just do that for a few moments until you feel its effects. And then switch your focus to gently breathing through the nostrils, and try and keep your attention there on that sensation, and we'll do that for a few minutes. So gently bring your awareness back to the room, and then you can open your eyes. So that example, the breathing meditation's very good to do, particularly in the morning, or doesn't have to be straight up from when you wake up, but in that morning period. So why would that be a good time to do a meditation, on a breathing meditation?
Before your brain is waking?
Correct, yes, before your brain is racing. So if you try and look, some people can do it, but if you do your meditation at the end of the day, the inclination will be to think back. What did I do today? I did this, this, and this, and you'll race, and then it'll be easy to get completely distracted. So that's an excellent answer, so that's why Geshe Doga's advice, just do it in the morning is better, because your mind is not racing. It's more relaxed because it's had a refreshing sleep and woken up. So that's a good practice. Anyway, that's hopefully a taste of what's possible, because it's good if we're thinking about that. Was my mind, before I did the meditation, more agitated than when I finished the breathing meditation, or was it a little bit more relaxed and clear? So each person has to look at that themselves, but certainly from my side, I go, oh well, yeah, definitely. When I begin a meditation, there's a little bit of, I can't settle down, but then as I get into it and can focus better, then definitely a more relaxed, clear state comes. So. The other thing with meditation, it's better to do it for a short time and then stop when you're happy. So okay, I've done 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, yep, stop. So it's an easy trap to go, I'll go 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or whatever, and then stop. And then you go, oh, that was so hard, so exhausting, I'm not going to do that again. So it's better to do short, finish on a high, and then stop, and then do it, and then repeat that to get into a nice rhythm or meditation practice. So you'll find your meditation practice becomes a lot better. So So if you do a meditation practice like that with, say, breathing, you'll notice the effect of the breathing meditation as you're doing it. And then as you get better at it, you'll notice post-meditation there'll be a little bit of a halo effect beyond your breathing meditation. And that should be, again, a more relaxed and clear state. Has anyone had that experience, or that the meditation has sort of given a nice after effect? Or does it purely just finish when you've stopped meditating? So, yep. No? Well, I could certainly vouch for that if I do the meditation practice, that I feel I'm a little bit more relaxed and calm and happy than if I didn't do it. And so I'll just through teaching from Geshe Doga, I won't so Geshe Doga has indicated we need both physical health or hygiene conditions and mental health or hygiene conditions to develop happiness. So we need both. We can't just go, well, I'll give up all the physical attributes and resources I have and just focus on the mental side. So you need both. Particularly in our Western country, we need resources. We need a roof over our head. We need a job or income. We need a whole lot of things that are physical to supplement our aim for happiness. But on we also need to develop mentally as well. Because it is true that even if you have lots of wealth and resources, if you're mentally unhappy, it's not a good life. It's a pretty miserable existence. So, and you often hear about people like that they have everything and the world is at their feet, and then they kill themselves, or something terrible happens because they're not happy with their lives, even though maturely they have everything. So it just goes to show how important mental happiness is. So another Buddhist concept is that the person is distinct and creates and experiences happiness or unhappiness distinctly from others. So does that make sense? No? Yes? Yep. So is the person distinct, or are we part of a hive mind or collective? Like, do we all each have our own individual body and mind, or are we sort of all lumped in together and just happen to be on this planet? So that's the question that the Buddhists are posing. So, because there are some beliefs that say, well, it's all like a conglomerate of experiences that are together. You said no, huh?
I'm not sure what we're talking about, because we cannot deny the fact that every individual, every person is the product of culture, where he or she was born.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot deny this fact.
Yes.
So in this sense, of course, all of us are connected, because the language, the gift of language, is the product of culture. We wouldn't be able to develop all this abstractive thinking without language.
Yep.
And if you take any child and put it into nature, there will be no language in his or in her consciousness.
Yep. So there's two elements at play here. So we've got the individual person who's experiencing something and creating experiences all the time, and then you have this collective experience or environmental experience, which I think what you're referring to, where we've created the causes and conditions to be born in Australia, living in Australia, and we can say we have that in common, don't we? So we can have that, but we also have a distinct personal continuum. So that's a Buddhist belief. So some other religions say, oh no, it's not that distinct. Once you strip it away, it's sort of part of a collective. So it's like, well, I know. So in Buddhism, there's definitely a person who's the experiencer and the creator of experiences, and also the person who, and we'll cover this in future weeks, but the person who lives this life and who dies and then goes into another life. So that continuum of the person is the same, it's a continuum. So it doesn't just see, in Buddhism, when we say at death, it's not the finish. It's not your life, your existence hasn't been extinguished at death. That's a Buddhist concept as well. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about stripping away the culture, because we're a product of what's happened, like you're saying, what's happened before has brought us to where we are today, and we're not stripping that away to go, well, look, I'm going to using the example I used before, I'm going to throw away all the resources I have. I'm just going to go into a cave and meditate. I'm going to give that's not what we're talking about. We're really talking about, if you like, on a mental level, going, okay, I can separate those afflicted states from the person. So that's a Buddhist concept as well, because you're going, well, how can you have that? Because aren't those afflicted states with us all the time? Can we actually really remove them? So that's the question that you have to answer. So in Buddhism, the answer is yes, you can. That's the yes, you can. So it's like not I can do it. That's right. It's not a creator being. It's I can do it. So or I must do it. So that's quite good, isn't it? It may be good because maybe it's better if someone could tap you on the shoulder and say, "You're free. You're away. You go. You didn't have to do make any effort." But it'd be wonderful. But with a magic wand or something, like a Harry Potter wand or something, But it's anyway. But so that's the Buddhist ideal, is like you can separate from those afflicted states, and meditation can give you a glimpse of what that would be like if your mind was peaceful and happy. And then if beyond meditation, if it could stay in that state, what would that mean for you? Because you're happy, and what would happen if you were happy to the other people around you? Would they be miserable? Probably not, because you're, again, one, you're not harming them, so they're probably really happy with that. And two, you're happy, and you're probably going to be promoting that for them. You're doing things to make them happy. So, So, if you have a positive attitude and you create positive actions, this is the idea of cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. It's another Buddhist concept. So I've thrown a lot of Buddhist concepts out tonight, but hopefully we'll go over them in more detail in the coming weeks. But you can get the idea. So positive motivation, and then creating a positive action, and then it will lead to what type of result? Negative result? Positive, yeah. Hopefully a positive result. Yeah, most likely a positive result. And the result is, it's not identical necessarily with the action. So if you go, I'm feeling generous, I'll give that person $100, charity. That's the good motivation, and then the action. So I've done that, the person is, and then the result is $100? No, people are not happy. No. So it's not necessarily identical, but the result will still come because you've, if you like, implanted that action on your continuum. Then it'll have a result. So it might be, Lucy, what could the result be? I'm using you because you're a student, you're a good student. So if you've given $100 to someone,
Yep.
with good motivation, what could the result be?
Happy.
That's the immediate result.
For the other person or for myself?
Well, for the other person, yes,
I'll be happy.
they'd be happy. And what about the ripening result? What about the result that's to come from you giving that $100?
Oh, possibly more happiness. Could be anything. But I mean,
Aren't you generating growth for yourself?
Sorry, what was that?
Aren't you generating good growth for yourself?
You are, but I'm just trying to quantify. What if you're given $100 you go, boom, and then it's on your continuum that you've done that good action, and then generating merit. $100 worth of merit, but what the nature of the action, the result is.
It makes me feel good if I'm giving something because I want to do it.
Yes.
It's what my motivation is because I want to make somebody
Happy or
need it
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
whatever it is that's
Yep,
joyful, I guess.
yep. So that's the
Meaningful.
a meaningful immediate result, and then the ripening result, which can come later,
Yeah.
could be $100.
Oh, okay, for me, I don't.
It could be because the person who's performed the action will experience that result. So it's what could it be? Could it be $100? Even Stephen, so 100. I'll get $100 back. Yes? No? Possibly.
Maybe in the next life.
Next life. So you say it's got a bit of negative interest on it. You've got to wait a long time to get it. So it could be $100 in the next.
Come to you if you need something, they come to you.
Correct.
It doesn't necessarily have to be money.
No, but it'll come. But the idea is though that it's imprinted on your mind, that action, and when it will ripen back on you. So it's already, as Lucy's mentioned, it's had a beneficial effect on the person who's the recipient of that generosity. But when that action ripens, it will have a beneficial effect on you. So it could be $100, could be $10, could be $1 million, could be a next lifetime. You could be very good conditions, resources, all the things like that. So out of $100, so because it's not even Stephen, 100 in and 100 back. It's not like that. So just because the karma or the ripening result can be expansive as well.
Might be an apple being given to you because you're hungry.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. So, but it's still a positive. It's a ripening virtuous result. So that's what. So the more we can do like that, and it doesn't have to be $100 each. The more, because it's really an attitude, isn't it? We might not have very much, but we can certainly be generous with what we have, and generous with our time, with our affection. We can look after people. All those things we can do, they'll all have some imprint on us, some effect on others, and a ripening in the future as well. So.
I read at some point, and I can't remember all the details, some research where there's an immediate effect for you giving, that will lower your blood pressure and you get, I don't know, endorphins or something. I can't remember now all the details, but I know there was, they'd wired people up doing things to people and found that there was a very practical, positive result as well as, further one another needs, more spiritual.
Yep.
I thought that was an interesting issue that can be very good for you to do that.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Has anyone here got pets or a pet? So, oh well, they want to play. So yeah, it's all very good. But look, so with pets, because pets are like babies, aren't they? Because they'll get to a certain age of development in human terms, and then they won't become an adult. They'll stay at that level, so they're completely reliant on you. But if you do something good for them, they'll repay it in spades, won't they, with their acknowledgement of you and so on. So that's a good thing too. So there's something at work there that's quite positive. Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Even thinking in terms of dollars is not. There's something wrong with that example.
Oh, thinking in terms of dollars.
Yes, because it sort of implies materialistic. This is worth $100. This experience is worth $100. You gave me $100. There's materialistic sort of thing.
Yeah.
When I think about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think of giving in terms of dollars. I don't think that's what you meant, but just just using dollars as an example, conjures up materialistic
Yes.
views of me.
Well, I used to be a banker for many years, so I'm used to how much how much have I got, how much can I get. So that's just what the main part about using dollars, because it's concrete, it's concrete, and then you go, well, what could be the result? Well, as Lucy's indicated, it could be happiness, an apple, something completely different, and then I sort of try to stretch it out and go, well, it could mean that $100 turns into, well, yeah, $100 more, but hopefully not. But it could be something like super duper. I think that's the other piece, because even on one of the teachings, it says if you give something to a highly evolved being, like the Dalai Lama or something like, someone like that, because of their state and your gift to them, the result is supercharged. For you, maybe even you might not notice it immediately, but you've given a gift to an enlightened being. So it might be, again, using your example, an apple, or but it's the gift given with good intention and given freely, and it might ripen into something supercharged. So in some of the religions, they actually pray to be born through their good actions as gods, long life beings with jewels and servants and everything. That's their aim, if you like. So, but it's not for Buddhists. It's like, well, that's one way to go, but it's not the main way, because if you, again, and I'll cover this again in future weeks, with rebirth, it's not necessarily you keep going higher and higher. No, so you're saying, yeah, that's right. So I was born as a human this time. Next time I'll be born as a better human, and then next one will be a god, and the next one. So it's not necessarily like an up escalator or a lift where it's only ways up. So that's where we have to go. Oh, okay. Well, if it's not only just one way up, then could it be down, or could it be sideways, or could it be somewhere sideways even, but in worse conditions? So you're born as a human in Australia, in Melbourne, but things are not that great. Mentally, you're not happy. Physically, you're struggling. You're not in a good environment. So that can happen here, can't it? We're blessed that we can meet, and we've got good conditions. So it's not the case for everyone. So. That's right, but I'm purely looking at it from a karmic perspective. That okay, you're given unconditionally, that's good. In fact, that's the best way. Best way is to give unconditionally. Here's the donation, or here's the gift. I'm not after thanks, or I'm not after anything. So, and then it just comes if it comes. But you've done that good action with a good heart, good intention. So. Motivation's excellent, yeah, so that's really good. Yes. That's quite difficult though, isn't it? Particularly with family. I've given them the gift that I thought they really would love, and they just said, yeah, thanks, So there's that too, and then I've looked at my own reaction and gone, well, gee, I'm not feeling that good, and I've given the gift. So it's like, because the person didn't really go for it, didn't really grab them. So I thought, oh, okay. So, but that's expectation, isn't it? So I probably didn't have a pure motivation there. I was just wanting an acknowledgement back. Yeah. Yeah. So coming back to just another concept, there is the distinct and discrete person. So if Lucy is generous. Will I experience the result?
If you want
No, it has nothing to do with me. So it's just she's given a gift to someone. Will I experience that good result?
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, yes. So
Maybe yes, maybe no. If
Yeah.
we're talking about the system, about society, yes.
Well-
Later, yes, but straight away,
no. So yeah. Yes. So that's a way, because if Lucy's done something really good, like an act of generosity, and you rejoice, you're not capturing, you're gaining a share of that merit on that good action by rejoicing in her good action. But me as a uninterested bystander, I can't claim, as a distinct person, I can't claim that, whatever Lucy's done is going to flow to me. So that, because we're individuals, so we have to, we're in control of what we create to a large extent. So Lucy's good action, if I'm just unaware, uninterested, it won't have any impact on me.
But if you say Lucy do something good,
Yep.
and you're a part of that, you're watching her do good deed, you will also get a sense of joy.
Well, that's what Carol's talking about. She's observant and gone, Lucy's done a fabulous job giving something to someone or doing a good action, and so therefore there is a connection and also some benefit. In fact, the middle statue there, the big statue, Lama Tsongkhapa, he was a master of the teachings, and he's we follow that tradition of Lama Tsongkhapa, and one of his main teachings was rejoice in other people's good deeds. And the reason he said that was, it's the quickest way for you to accumulate merit. So you don't actually have to do the gift, but if you see the person and you rejoice, you'll accumulate merit. And so and if you keep doing that, you'll accumulate more. So
In the world where all the kind of things everybody does, the whole place becomes better if there are cool things being done, which, like the World Currently mentions, is a totally uneasy occasion if you're watching this.
yes,
So you have to go watch something about llamas or pets or something.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think sometimes the news is like a doom cycle. Like it's always like what's the most negative thing happening in Rwanda or Gaza or this and that, and what can we report on? They put it all together in a news bulletin, but it's all bad news one after the other. And you think, and then you're right though. If you look at your life, you go, well, gee, my life's not like that. So it can be like that. So, but yeah. So having some kindness definitely makes a difference. The more kindness and good, positive actions, helping others, is the better the result, I think, for everyone. So, I think we could almost stop there, unless someone's got a question or two. Question we can ask? No? Okay, well, yes, you have a question?
That's a good question. You in a previous lecture mentioned that advice to stop meditation on a good point, where you have to feel, but if every moment is struggle, meditation doesn't matter. Breathing, single point, and especially
to breathe.
anything. So I'm trying to meditate with partially open eyes,
Mm-hmm.
etc. But if I don't have this experience of high point where you stable, etc.,
Mm.
to stop and to save this feeling, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so pleasant, and I want to come back. If it's struggle all the time, what your advice would be?
Well, some people are audio, some people are visual, some people are more, sense, smell, so what sometimes I've noticed is, I'm more feeling, as opposed to I can visualise super duper this and that. Okay, I can feel something, and that's why the visualisation, breathe in the enlightened energy and breathe out all the negative things as you're doing the breathing, and I go, oh, I can get the feeling that, oh, that's something good. And it's not like you said, if you've got something that you go, I can't concentrate, well, that's a feeling. So you can develop that and go, oh, well, that feels good, and then stop and then do it again. And so that's something I can say that works. Some people, though, are not feeling. They need, they need to go sensation, this and that, and then they can notice the mind becoming more subdued as they're breathing in and out. And then naturally, Geshe Doga mentions that the students, some of these students, they can go 20 minutes, 30 minutes, meditation, easy, He says easy, he goes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, meditation, easy. The mind is solid on its object, so it doesn't waver to what am I doing tomorrow, so what am I doing, what am I eating at, it's just like, so I've gone, oh, good on them. But I think, okay, well, so then you've got to try your own thing. But I think the breathing's a good start, and if you have like that, something that prevents you and it makes you more anxious, then do something like the feeling is good. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, so we've developed a good motivation, we've listened, so there's been an accumulation of merit by each of us. So in Buddhism we go, all right, that store of merit, what can we do with it? And we call that dedication. So if you come to teachings on other nights, you'll notice they do a motivation at the beginning of the teaching, and then they do the teaching itself, and then at the end they do a dedication practice. So you can see what that's doing, can't you? Like bookends, motivation, dedication, and in the middle is what you've accumulated, positive virtue that you've accumulated. So we do a dedication. So there's a few types of dedication. So tonight we'll just do one that's for ourselves. So I'll just talk you through some words. So you can just close our eyes and just think about it. So think about this. So any virtue that I've created tonight, I'm going to dedicate for my own happiness and the happiness of those around me. Okay, thank you everyone. There's tea and biscuits in the dining room. Thank you.